Hey everyone, I'm going to introduce you to someone I've met a little while ago, and we're in a similar program with Landmark. She's also a coach. She coaches people and she teaches us Berkeley. But I won't say too much because I would like Valerie to talk about her. So, Valerie, please tell us what you do and a little bit about Landmark too, because that's something we have in common. So, please.
You said we were in a similar thing. We are in the exact same.
Yeah, I know, but you're my coach in there, so a little bit above me. So.
Thanks, Raju. Wow. Okay. Well, you've said some of the key points. I'll just follow up and fill in some of the gaps
Sure.
there. One is yes, I love developing myself personally. I'm a teacher at heart, so and I strongly believe that you can't teach anything that you haven't learned yourself. That's number one. So that's why we're in a program like the Team Management and Leadership Program for Landmark. Then I also do leadership coaching, right? I use leadership coaching as well as professional speaking. And what I call those are really more my vehicles. What I love to do is really inspire people to come alive, like really connect to their passion and go do something about it.
Mhm.
And the two vehicles that I found right now, at least, the most effective is coaching people and then also working with them in like a group session, a workshop, or group coaching like that, as well as the teaching. You mentioned teaching at Berkeley. So I got my executive coaching certification through UC Berkeley about 3 years ago. And over this past year, I've been working with the Berkeley coaching team and teaching several courses throughout the year. It's been really wonderful partnership because they really give me a platform to do what I love to do and what I do best.
Mhm.
And also the people and the team that we get to work with, as well as the clients we get to work with, all align with really finding the heart and meaning for leadership. So those are the main things that I do in my professional life. And then it also spills out sometimes more than people would appreciate in my family and my friend life. They're like, don't need you to coach me right now. But that's the essence.
Gotcha. Awesome. So we'll dive into what you do and how you can help people, especially the coaching side on the leadership development and all. And how does that tie into your landmark programs that you're doing? And how
Mhm.
does that has it helped you? So kind of dive into that, like first of all, your coaching program and who would be, who would gain something, by connecting to you in that matter? Who are the type of people who would benefit by connecting to you and learning from you?
The people that I work with the best, I should say, are the people that really are the best fit
Mhm.
for me, and I'm the best fit for them, are those that want to work on empowering themselves in their communication skills. Like they have a message and they want to be able to share that message with other people in an empowering way. Those people who also want to expand their circle of influencers where they want to connect in meaningful ways to other people.
Mhm.
That's important. As well as people who are really looking to connect who they are and what their gifts and talents are to the work and life they live,
Mhm.
right? The work they do and the life they live.
Mhm.
So those are the individuals. Now, what that looks like in demographics really varies.
Mhm.
Generally, people who are in fields that require them to make meaningful connections with either their stakeholders or team members or clients. Also, individuals who are out to do something in the community. I
Mhm.
found that it's best if you're up to something. When people are up to something, they're up to something big or something that they know. Okay, I need a team of people behind me. I need people that can provide me guidance and support,
Mhm.
or I need to be able to speak and feel confident in what I'm saying or what I'm requesting. Those
Mhm.
are the ones that I love to help.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
let's get into a little bit into Landmark. So Landmark has led me to so many things. I won't go into mine, but share about your Landmark, experience and how that has changed your life and affected people around you. So.
Cool. Well, the good news is that there are so many opportunities for people to learn and grow.
Mhm.
And this happened to come to my life at just the right time. And funny enough, what interested me in Landmark was actually I went because of a boy, essentially. That's a lot of stories start that way for many women. So I went because of a boy, and and I was like, oh, what did you do? That sounds interesting. I want to do it too. And it so happened that I was actually looking for to further the relationship, right? I wanted to actually be in relationship with this guy beyond friendship. And when I went to Landmark, I discovered that no, that's not actually what I wanted in that relationship. Really, what I got from that experience in the first course that I took, which is the Landmark Forum, was that my definition of love had been colored by what I thought was missing in my childhood, like the connection with my family, with my brothers, with my parents, the connection between my parents. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to marry my best friend. I decided that when I was 7 years old. And sadly, a 7-year-old should never be in charge of your love life. and, and for me, my 7-year-old was running the show in all of my relationships. Didn't work out so well. So once my 7-year-old, I put her in the corner, just a timeout. You're not in charge anymore. Then all of a sudden, my relationship with my brothers and my parents absolutely transformed. You know, whereas we weren't very touchy-feely as a family. We didn't say I love you. We didn't really connect in deep ways. Now we say I love you after every phone call. We see one another. We connect on a regular basis. It's not unusual now I have 3 brothers. So you can just imagine that, you know, with men, it's not always easy to get men together and have deep, meaningful conversations for extended periods of time. We had 4-hour conversations, like the 4 of us, just connecting. So much came out of that in my personal life, but it's also transformed things in my professional life too. I feel that I started to realize that so much of my life was being run by me. I've become very adept as a leader in taking charge of situations, being really assertive. I've been promoted and also complimented because of that particular style of leadership. And the moments where I realized that, oh, I actually need to do more stuff. But, you know, when I asked for help, people were either shy to support or they always felt like, oh, Valerie, you can do that even better. And I started noticing in my life often that I realized that, okay, actually, if I want to be an effective leader and an effective leadership coach, I actually need to transform what it has, you know, that the interpretation of leadership, which is not going and doing it on my own. It's really about creating other leaders. And so I've expanded some of the work that I've done with myself on confronting, you know, what that is. And I mean, I'll tell you a really small thing I've just discovered, even just in the last few weeks. You know this. I think I may have shared some of this with you. Is first of all, I love coming up with great ideas. So I'll give you an example. I'll do a personal example because it might be more relatable. But the idea I had was my nephew was graduating from high school. We wanted to do a big family thing or something with them, which is not something that we were super used to doing. So I came up with this great idea. I'm like, oh, I saw this. We did this at Berkeley. I think it would be really cool if we did XYZ on Zoom. Right? It was just here during the pandemic. And my family was like, wow, that sounds great. Let's do it. Tell us when we should do it, what we should do. And I'm like, well, I thought everybody could just kind of collaborate and pitch in and, you know, what ideas do you have? Oh, we don't have any ideas. I'm like, look, I came up with the idea. We're doing Zoom. I'm coordinating. I'm putting the agenda together. Can somebody else do other things? And so that was one area where I started to see, oh, it's not that my family was not interested and capable, but I hadn't created any space for people to step into leadership. I was driving the bus. And I was going to tell them where we're going to stop, how long we were going to stop for, rather than saying, hey, who wants to go on a trip? What should we do on this trip? Gotcha. So now I'm realizing that part of my leadership had to just open up to getting feedback and input from other people. Even if I had a wonderful idea, that other people have ways to contribute and expand that idea or move it in different directions. So that's what the Landmark work has been doing. And last thing I would say too is that the work on the outside, right? The things that I find leaders are wanting to gain in promotion, in revenue, in expanding client base, like all of those types of goals or results. If it's not happening fast enough, if it's not happening in the way that one wants it, there's likely something internal that's going on, either internal to the team or the organization or internal to the individual. And what I love about the work that we've been doing at Landmark is everything is with the individual. Like when we transform ourselves, the
Mm,
environment transforms,
mm.
you know, be the change you want to see, so to speak.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Awesome. So as you can see, because of her work, her own work with herself, that's how she can help you. Do the same thing with you guys. So if you're looking that kind of coaching, um, basically really authentic and really straightforward, reach out to Valerie. She might be able to help you or point you in the right direction if she can. So either way. So with that being said, we shared a lot of tips, right? But what's the one tip? Not a lot of tips. One tip you can share, either your personal, you shared one personal, but or business wise,
Mm-hmm.
that has helped you a lot lately. The latest one for you anyway.
Huge. Well, I'll say the one that keeps paying off the most. How's that? It's all about who you know. I'll start with that. And I can tell you from the moment I graduated from college, and the guy that was my band drum major gave me my first job when I met him in the post office. Not my 30 resumes that I had mailed out to the whole world, but the guy I ran into at the post office when I shared with him what I was interested in and what I was studying, he was like, I know who you should call. You should call this person. Here's her phone number and her email. Boom, my life opened up. My first job out of college came that way. My work now, what I do as a leadership coach, I would say the same thing for my opportunity at Berkeley came because I was offering my talent, my gift to others, and someone saw me and said, "Oh, you should talk to so and so," right? Plenty of people told me I should start my own business, my own company, and so the tip here is one, go do what you love, share it with other people, or at least have them see you doing it.
All right.
And two is that be open to connecting with people and expanding your circle of influencers, because as we expand that circle and our circle sees us in action, those opportunities where they go, oh, Raju is really good at doing this. Raju, I just heard about someone looking for what you offer. That's how those connections happen. Biggest, most transformational tip that's happened for me.
Awesome. No, that's something, I personally got with the COVID era. So that's one thing I learned. Awesome tip, Valerie. And thanks for taking the time, by the way. Again, I'll post whatever links available for Valerie. I'll take it from her and post it on. Obviously, connect on LinkedIn. I'll post her LinkedIn profile. So please connect to her if you find anything valuable here. And she's an awesome person to talk to, obviously. So
I want to mention one quick thing is
sure.
that if you're going to connect with me on LinkedIn, you got to say why. There's
Okay.
got to be a reason what something that I said or did or demonstrated during this conversation that had you reach out.
Mhm.
I'm not going to accept any blind requests. So make
Okay.
your ask compelling.
Okay. All right. So there you are. So, all right. Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you, Raju.